Yo, 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 welcome back to Brandon Smooth TV. I am back at you with another review. Loki is finally here, episodes 1 and 2 of the MCU, of course, television series on Disney Plus. Now, if you know anything about the character Loki, he's the opposite of Thor. You know, he's his younger brother, and you know, his quest is, of course, to be greater than Thor and rule Asgard, rule Midgard, rule the whole nine realms. Basically, that was his goal. Now, I was first introduced to Loki because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't read a lot of Thor comics growing up. But in the first Avengers movie, I thought he was an excellent villain. He had wit, certain charm about him, and of course, Tom Hiddleston playing Loki is just fantastic. I did like the banter between him and, of course, Iron Man and Thor and the other MCU characters. And he's always found his place in the MCU. I don't think they wrote Loki to be, you know, that major of a villain because he was kind of like a villain to bring in Thanos, just a vehicle to do that. But he ended up doing such a good job that he's become a fan favorite. Now, if you watch Endgame, you know that when they went back in time to receive the Infinity Stones and they found there was 3 of them in New York around the 2012 period, Loki grabs the Tesseract and just Tesseract, and he goes into a portal and he just disappears and nobody knows where he went. But now we get to find out. We're introduced to a group of, I would call them Minutemen police officers, but basically the Time Police. They call themselves Minutemen, and they work for TVA, the Time Variant Association. I don't know what the A stands for. But basically, Loki has been basically tried for all of his crimes as far as manipulating the timelines. When he went back in time, or whatever period of time he went into, it does change the trajectory of the timelines. And I love that the Ancient One went over this in Endgame. She didn't say the sacred timeline, but she did explain once you change stuff, there are rifts that can go and create whole different timelines. So that's something you definitely want to keep an eye on. Now, they got a cheat code with Loki because it has one of my favorite comedic actors in there, Owen Wilson, playing Mobius. Mobius. It's a cheat code. What other series do we know had 2 great actors like that? And I'm not dissing anybody else that was in any of the actors, but nobody's really on Tom Hiddleston's level. Tom Hiddleston is a chameleon. When I say chameleon, he can play a plethora of roles, and good, bad. He can change his look. He's like a Daniel Day-Lewis or like a Leonardo DiCaprio. So, first episode, they catch him. Loki has to realize he has no power, and he's just basically stuck in this place. There's nothing he can do, and every time he tries to escape, they manipulate time and put him right back in the same place. I do like Mobius's character because he's trying to really get to the bottom of Loki and try to figure out what makes him tick, what's going on, why are you doing what you're doing. And by the end of the first episode, we realize Loki's doing it because kind of out of desperation. He always talks about everybody else being puny and weak, but he's the one that really feels like that, and it's a projection that he puts on everyone else. He wants to be Thor. He wants to be Odin. He wants to be great, and he feels like it's his destiny to be great. Even though his mom, I guess, is Thor's and their mom. They never really explained it, but his dad is a frost giant. We know that. But basically a cold demon. And, of course, he could probably go back and rule that kingdom. I don't know if they would accept him back, but Odin did take him in as his actual son. So, episode 1, that's basically how it ends. He gets introduced to the TVA, you know, comes to realization there's nothing he can do. And then by the end of the episode, they say they need his help. There's a variant out there that are killing a lot of the Time Police or the Minutemen. And the variant happens to be Loki, or another Loki from an alternate timeline. So going into episode 2, it definitely had a couple of, little big reveals that I enjoyed. You got to see Loki in the field using his magic again. And come to realize it's a lady Loki at the end of the episode, the one that's manipulating the timelines. And what she's doing, she's hiding in different apocalyptic times. Like they went back to Pompeii. Just anything that destroyed a whole civilization, they found that the variants are able to actually slip in there and kind of hide out. That way they can't find them on the grand scheme of all, the timeline. So I thought that was really cool. This opens up so much, and there's so many Easter eggs in these first 2 episodes. Of course, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is going to be tied into this. WandaVision's definitely tied into this. And I think even Spider-Man, the last one, will be tied into this because In the last Spider-Man movie, he did battle Mysterio, and he had him in the illusions looking at different alternate timelines and things that can happen. So introducing the TVA opens up the Marvel Universe even more as far as what they can do, playing with different timelines, different versions of characters. It's going to be big. The first 2 episodes is already better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision, in my opinion. It kept me engaged entirely. I even watched the second episode twice just to try to catch up. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And comment below, do you think it was a cheat code having Owen Wilson as an actor? Or do you say it's all fair game for the TV series? Peace.